How's it going, folks? I'm back to talk about David Dinkins, the garbage man we had back in the 90s, right? So Washington Heights, back in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s, was real bad, right? A lot of drugs going through there, right? So they had undercover police officers everywhere to catch these drug dealers and cut back on the crime and the drugs, and which leads to murder and assault and everything else, right? So a police officer approaches, what was his name? Jose Kiko Garcia, right? That was his street name, I guess, Kiko. Make sure it's right, yeah. I was working at the time. I wasn't in Manhattan, I was in Brooklyn, in task force unit. So it winds up, Jose assaults the police officer. They get into a chase, they go into a building, they struggle. Cop shoots him twice and kills him, right? Guess what Dinkins does? Pays for the guy's funeral on our tax money. Pays for a legal immigrant who was a drug dealer. I don't know if it was proven he was a drug dealer, but he used to belong to a gang, and he said he was trying to turn his life around. The same old fucking story, right? So Dinkins, the mayor of the city, pays for this guy's funeral. Right? Democratic neighborhood, Democrat mayor. That's all I gotta say. Paying for a criminal's funeral, right? They tried the cop was found not guilty. So, fast forward, Kamala Harris, the vice president who's running for vice president in November, which I can only hope and pray to dear Lord that Trump wins. The only way he's going to lose is mail fraud. They know that, so they're trying for that. She goes and visits Jacob Blake. I had to write this down so I didn't make any mistakes. He's charged with third-degree sexual assault. He's charged with criminal trespass, disorderly conduct. He's not a good person. He's not an upstanding citizen. Doesn't mean because he's a father, he's a good person, right? He goes back to the girl's house who he sexually assaulted. She calls 911. Cops show up. He admits to having a knife with him. He does have a knife in his hand. Cops plead for him to drop the knife and not go to his car because he could get any weapon out of there. And the cops shoot him because he doesn't comply with lawful orders. And this piece of shit, Kamala Harris, goes to visit him in the hospital. And she says she's proud of him. She's proud of Jacob Blake. Don't visit the police officer that had to shoot him. Maybe he's traumatized. Visit him, see how he's doing. Yeah, shoot somebody 7 times, right? She goes and visits the criminal. It must be me. Must be me. I'm fucking out of my mind, right? Guess what? Democrat. That's all I gotta say. Trump, law and order. Trump 2020, law and order. I know the cops are the bad guys, the cops are the criminals. Why they shoot him 7 times. Nothing to do with his criminal past, which is always funny, right? They always say, well, they didn't know about his criminal past. It shows the character of the person. The person has multiple arrests in the past. They're pieces of shit. They don't give a fuck. So it shows his demeanor and his character to law enforcement, which what happens when the cops show up multiple times, eventually goes bad. It's because he brought it upon himself. Be responsible for your own actions, right? Kamala Harris, David Dinkins, Democrats backing criminals. Democrats backing criminals, right? That's what it comes down to. So it depends on what you want to do in November. You want to back the criminals, you want to back the good guys. No, but I guess the cops are the bad guys and the criminals are the good guys now. Listen, love you guys. Made some good points tonight. I hope you guys enjoy it. Do the right thing. Have a nice day.